I rep that gang, nigga. And my team, they do the same, nigga. Let me hit the blunt before going on this one. I said, nigga, twist the door. This Beantown burner. Shawty with her friends, and they all hanging. Everything gon' change.
Fuck you, do it with Dan.
What up, internet people? How's it going? That's a dead bag. I got like 2 or 3 hours before I gotta go pick my friend up from the airport, so I figured I'd get a ride in. Haven't really ridden my bike very much lately, and I've been feeling kind of down. It's just been raining for the past couple of days. It's been kind of awful. Plus the whole move thing has been ridiculous, and trying to get caught up on the bike project, you know, casual YouTuber shit. My life is so hard, making YouTube dollars. It's not real money, you know. A lot of people don't know this, but YouTubers don't get paid in real money. It's YouTube dollars. And that doesn't count. Like, you can't go pay your bills with YouTube dollars. You go to Walmart and you say, I would like to buy this item, and they're like, all right, that'll be 20 real dollars, and you're like, but all I have are these YouTube dollars. They're like, well, that sucks. Just come back when you have real dollars. Zip, zap, super pop. I'm Bill Cosby. You guys see the video, the clip of Bill Cosby coming out of court, and he just fucking shouts, hey, 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 like Fat Albert? It's clear the dude's fucking completely done with all this shit. He just comes out of the courtroom, zip zap, super pop. All right, what's going on? What are you doing? Nice blinker. See, the joke is that when I say nice blinker, I actually mean use your fucking blinker. I know it sounds a lot like, hey, really good job using your blinker, but what I actually said was, fuck yourself. But since I got a couple of hours and I'm trying to get a ride in, I really want to go to Red Top. I haven't been on Red Top in a little bit, and I figured just a little cruisy cruise up Red Top Mountain would be real nice, right? Strappy strap as well. Fucking yeah, YOLO Swag 420, dude. But I actually do have a topic today. I mentioned in one of my previous videos that back when I was younger lad, by a couple of years, not that, well, I'm not that old, so younger is a relative term. I mentioned that I dabbled with steroid use. And truth be told, I wasn't really going to talk about it, but a couple of people, not very many, but a couple of people seemed pretty interested in it. Probably younger guys like myself at the time who were interested in making more gains and getting stronger, faster, and quicker and stuff like that. I figured I'd talk about my experiences with it, and we'll talk about the morals of it later. Let's see, let's try to recap properly. It's been a couple of years. First year of college, so about 5 years ago. I was starting to get really into fitness, started not necessarily eating properly, but eating a lot more in ways to get yourself bigger. Like, my diet was based on building strength and size and not being healthy, which is, you know, you shouldn't live like that. But that's how I was doing it, because I was a young kid and probably like 18 at the time, 18, 19. So I went to this pretty big gym near Florida. It was, you know, in Brunswick, Georgia. It's really close to Florida, so you get a lot of those overflow Florida guys, Floridians, if you will. But a lot of people that went to the gym that I went to did steroids. It just was like how it was. I mean, it wasn't like rampant, like you're finding needles in trash bins and stuff like that. That's not how it was, but it was still a good bit of people in there, you know, like you had to ask the right people, obviously. It's not like something was like, hey, come and shoot up with me, buddy. I tried a few different types of steroids, and like I said, it's been a while. It's been like 5 years, so I'm hoping I'm getting information right. I'm not an expert, and there's a lot of things I don't remember. I used to be super into it, but now it's hard for me to recall a lot of stuff. So if I get terminology wrong, if I get product names wrong, or like how it works wrong, just go ahead and forgive me. But basically, I was approached by a bigger friend of mine who was like, hey man, do you want to try this too? You want to try this stuff right here, buddy? And he had like a syringe with him and like these little tiny vials or something. I don't know. It was weird. And me being do it with Dan, and I'm a firm believer in try just about anything once before you knock it right. And that goes on with like drugs and experiences and relationships and stuff like that. Besides heroin, and like I know for a fact heroin is that one drug that I would never even consider. A friend of mine approaches me who's gonna remain nameless. Says, hey Dan, or actually everyone called me Danny at the time. Hey Danny, you wanna try this shit, huh? I've been doing this for like 3 years now, and I've gained a lot of mass and size in a short amount of time. I see you wanting to get bigger. You mentioned something about on Facebook yesterday or something like that. I was like, yeah, I would love to get bigger and do things of getting bigger. And I was like, you know what? Let me think about it for a little bit. And so I put it off for a while, but you know, I'm experimental, so I thought about it for a good while. And before I started doing injectable steroids, I dabbled into an oral steroid. I don't recall the product's name. Please forgive me if I get this wrong. I'm pretty sure this is how it works, but I'm not sure. So if there's any steroid user experts, like there always is in the fucking comments, keep your head out my ass, please. You know, feel free to correct me, but don't do it in an asshole manner, like, freaking idiot, how do you not know how this works? So I started taking these oral steroids, or I think pro hormones, I'm pretty sure is what they were. And from what I understand, the way it works is that a pro hormone is missing some key ingredients to become a steroid. So it digests through your liver and kind of activates itself into a steroid. I don't know. You have to forgive me if I'm wrong here. Fucking ass. So I started taking these oral supplements that, and again, I could be wrong on how this works. I think this is how it works. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but not in a dickhead manner. But from what I understand, the way a pro hormone works is that it's not technically a steroid, but when your body digests it, it turns into steroid or steroid-like properties. And I cycled through these oral, I'll just call them supplements. I want to call them steroids, but I don't know if that's the proper terminology. I cycled through these oral pro hormones for about a year. You'd go on a cycle, off a cycle every month. So a month on, a month off, and that's how you did it. I did it like that for about 6 months, right? 1 month on, 1 month off, using post-cycle therapy, the provided products that this company had provided with me at the time. And let me tell you, during those times, I felt great. My energy was up. My libido was through the roof. For those who don't know, libido just means you want to put your dick in everything. I was getting gains the first week I began taking these, and I'm pretty sure this is a placebo effect, but the first week I began taking the supplements, I went to the gym every day and tore that shit up like I didn't feel a thing. I mean, I stayed in there for 3 hours lifting shit, and I had no quit in me. I couldn't stop. No energy loss, no fatigue, nothing. Again, I'm pretty sure this was a placebo effect. I've got no way of measuring it. Is it raining? So as far as I'm concerned, fake results, fake news. Now that being said, during those months that I was cycling on, I was strong. I recovered extremely quickly. My energy and libido were through the roof. I had nothing but solid gains in fat loss. I did nothing but eat more. So it's not like my diet really changed. I was just eating more food, which was crap. You know, I was eating like high-octane garbage. I mean, I can't attribute it to my diet other than the fact that I was eating just a shit ton more protein. So obviously, I was able to recover a little bit faster. But during the 6 months, I had great results. This is where I fucked up. I went on the good old faithful bodybuilding.com and tried to learn more about the shit and see how I could do better. By the way, these process through your liver, right? I forgot to mention this. This is a big thing. These process through your liver, so I couldn't drink any alcohol at the time. Otherwise, you know, I could like potentially die or some shit. It's kind of bad for you, supposedly. So at this time, I wasn't drinking, I wasn't really partying. I mean, I was in a part of a fraternity at the time, so I was going to parties, but I wasn't really drinking at all. So that was fun. You know, they say there's roid rage, and I guess I did become a little bit more mood swingy during this time too. But, you know, it wasn't bad. It wasn't like uncontrollable rage. And then after the 6 months of that, you know, like I said, I did this for a year, but after the first 6 months, I swapped over to doing 6 months on, 6 months off, which was where I fucked up. And you're not supposed to do that with the type of supplements that I was taking. So I did this, and on my post-cycle therapy, I don't know if I fucked up or if I wasn't taking enough or it was just totally fuckered. I like fucked up my body. I lost energy, all my libido. I mean, I was dead for what felt like 6 months. And I had, oh, by the way, this bridge, real quick, break. I saw this movie, The Accountant, came out in 2016, had Tom Cruise as the main actor. He plays an autistic shooter. This is where they filmed the last scene. I'll try to post a clip in it without getting copyright, but this is the bridge where he drives across in the end. Fucking kick ass. Anyway, back to the story. I cycled 6 months on straight with the stuff that I was using, and when I cycled off of it's where I fucked up. After the first month and a half, I had no energy. I felt sickly. I got really sick afterwards. I lost, I'd say, after the whole year, I lost probably about 50 to 60% of all of my gains from my previous body. So I did retain about 40% what I gained, which I guess isn't bad considering what I went through. But if I had just stuck to a regular diet and worked hard, I think I would have achieved that naturally in the course of a year and retained more. And again, there's no way of saying if it was a placebo effect or not. After that year, I'm feeling like shit. My energy's down. I feel like I'm dying. On top of that, I still have my buddy who's behind me, like with the needle, like, hey, you want to try the real shit? And I'm like, all right, fine. So I give in to trying the real shit. I don't like needles, not my style. I'm really not looking forward to it, but I fall into the trap, and I think it was a mixture of two different things, or not a mixture, but a separate cycle of Win. I definitely remember the name Win, and Deca. Win and Deca, I believe. And that only lasted for about, I want to say, 3 months. I only did that for about 3 months. I gained a lot of strength. I gained a lot of fat too, even though I think Win is supposed to cut you down. I got real kind of chubby on it afterwards, and I'm pretty sure, if I remember right, and people can correct me in the comments, again, I don't know everything. I'm not a fucking Zizzlord. I don't know shit about the stuff anymore. I think Win is supposed to cut you down, and I still ended up getting pretty fat. My diet was pretty terrible. I was going out, and I was drinking on the injectable. And again, while I was on steroids at the time, I was fucking jacked. I had tons of energy. I loved it. Probably could have, for the first month and a half, probably could have just banged a hole through a tree after the first month and a half. Then I started to lose all my libido during the steroids, and I started having some weird side effects. I got real sensitive nipples afterwards. I fucking hate talking about that. I was having negative side effects that I didn't like. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna cycle off of this stuff. I did what I thought was the correct post-cycle therapies and whatnot, and then again after the steroids I got really sick, which is apparently pretty common. And after a while I was like, this stuff is not for me, so I cycled off of it completely. And then I want to say up to a year later, I still felt like absolute shit, and I don't think I've ever fully recovered because of what it does to your body. You know, at the time I was so young, I wish I'd waited till I was older. And I guess that's kind of my advice, if I had any, is to wait till you're older to do that type of stuff, because as a young kid at 17, 18 years old, you have all the testosterone in the world, man. You don't need to do that type of shit, and I think it's fucked up my body permanently. Let's see if this guy wants to chat. He's got a CBR 600. Nice, man. Nice bike, dude. I'm Dan. Nice to meet you. 600 RR, right? ZX10. Yeah, I was trying to get you to play with me a little bit when I saw you back there. I was like, maybe I'll stand it up and see if he wants to play. Cool guys. I sat there and talked to him for like 10-15 minutes. Grab the numbers, probably ride soon. Come in. And traction control off. Whew, it's hot as fuck ass. Alright, so back what I was saying. Like I said, wait till you're older. Wait till you're past, like, I'd say 25, right? Because that's when testosterone starts to naturally decrease in males. And it doesn't affect you, I guess, as much. But at a young age, it can fuck up your body. That's what it did to me. That's probably why I am the way I am. I'm stuck at 5'8". You know us little people, we're angry all the time. My libido's recovered. That's a weird thing to talk about, but like my sex drive is totally back to where it used to be. But I've gotten blood work done in the past year or so, and my testosterone levels are fine now. But for a while there, they were really, really low, and that was because of what I did to my body. If you want to do it, wait till you're older. I mean, this isn't a don't do steroids type of conversation. As a matter of fact, all right, so let me put it this way. Yes, augmenting your body like that is dangerous. It comes with a certain level of danger that can harm your body for the rest of your life. Potentially even kill you. Like, it's a dangerous stuff if done incorrectly. But that's why I say do a bunch of research on it. Don't take my word for it. If you're sincerely interested in it, do all of the research on it before you even consider it. And I know a lot of people are going to say, Dan, that's not right. You shouldn't tell people to do steroids. And I'm not. I'm saying that a lot of people who tell you not to do steroids have never done them. That'd be like someone saying, oh, don't smoke weed. I've never smoked weed, and look how great I am. You know, like, oh, don't drive fast cars. I drive a Honda Civic. You shouldn't drive fast cars. It's not good for you, you know? The truth is that they don't know. So you have to ask someone with experience, longevity experience. You know, I wasn't doing it to be a professional bodybuilder. I wasn't doing it to compete. I was literally doing it just to boost my image of myself. I wanted my body to be better. And here's where morals come into play. While I was doing steroids and I grew really quickly, really big, I had a lot of people ask, Dan, what are you doing to get bigger? I'm like, well, I'm doing this, and I'm taking this. I was very open with it about it to people, because here's what happens if you're not open about it to people, especially on a professional level. If you're not open about it, they think they can achieve the same results without taking steroids like you told them. And it's not fair. If you're gonna take steroids, be honest about it. I think there's no shame in saying, hey, I take steroids. I think it's fine. If that's what you do, that's what you do. I never understood why people are so secretive about it. I guess because, I think it's illegal or something like that, but I've never really found the negative in being honest with people, especially if it's something that's that intense. That's what I hate about people who compete on a professional level. I'm not saying anybody in particular, but I'm saying there's like some professional bodybuilding YouTubers out there, really big name people who take steroids and then they say, oh, I'm all natural, dude. And it's clear to a lot of people who have dabbled with steroids and have taken steroids, like, hey, that's steroids, whatever. I've got no problem with it. I just wish you were honest with it so people would know that they can't achieve those exact same results. And it's a real problem in the professional world as well. For those who compete and those who bodybuild and those who are trying to get the biggest and best physique as possible, like Mr. Olympia. But of course, since it's a competition, they can't come out and legally say, hey, I take steroids. But look at Arnold, right? Arnold came out and admitted that he juiced, right? And everyone still absolutely loves him. And that's understandable, I guess. Like, I just wish the competition aspect of it was a little bit more open about it. So there's people out there who think dead serious that people who are in Mr. Olympia don't take steroids. It's hilarious. I guess on a competition level, it's one thing, you have to be quiet about it. If you want to be Mr. Olympia, you have to take steroids and you have to not tell anyone about it. But if you're a YouTuber giving out bodybuilding and fitness techniques and you take steroids and you're not honest with your viewers, then you put this image in their head that they can achieve that when they can't. And again, let me 100% clarify, I'm not calling out anyone specific. I'm not calling out anybody that I know. I don't want people to get the wrong idea, because every time I do one of these like kind of rant type of deals, people think that I'm calling out someone in particular, and I'm not. I've got no hatred towards anyone in particular. I'm just aware of a lot of individuals who do bodybuilding professionally on YouTube and in magazines and stuff will sit there right to your face and say, yeah, I achieved this naturally, look how good I am. And it kills me. It kills me to think about that. So morally, do I think there's anything wrong about taking steroids? No, I don't. If that's what you want to do to your body, then do it. It's like same thing with smoking weed. It's like, do I think there's anything wrong morally with smoking weed? No, I don't. If that's what you want to do, hey, then do it. But be honest about it. If someone comes up to you and says, hi individual, how did you get such amazing results in such a short amount of time? Well, I changed my diet, I worked harder, and I took steroids. I'm not trying to normalize the behavior, I'm just thinking that being honest is more important. I never lied about it when people asked me. I felt like there was no reason to do that. I knew people who were 200, 300 pounds overweight, really, really, really fat, obese, out of shape people who would ask me, and I would be 100% honest. And they would be like, thank you for being honest, I'm sure they would get discouraged a little bit saying, oh, I can't achieve that without steroids. But here's the thing. You can achieve a lot of great things without steroids. I tell people that. Don't be ashamed of it. Be who you are. You're gonna take your time, aren't you? Man, you could have gone like 3 fucking times. Do I think there's anything wrong with, like, let's say Mr. Olympia taking steroids? No, I don't, because that's that person's sole goal. And because of the way the competition's set up, you kind of have to, right? You can't compete in Mr. Olympia, for instance, without taking steroids. But to compete, and there's some weird rules, I believe, where it's like you can't have a trace of the stuff in your body within like 30 days of the competition or something like that. It's weird, but it's so oddly programmed to where you can't compete without it. But if you get caught with it, you're in trouble. It's such a double-edged sword. So it's got to be a really intense time for people who bodybuild like that. That's just me, though. Whether or not you agree is up to you. So tell me what you guys think, right? Do you think it's morally wrong to take steroids? Or do you think it's totally okay? I mean, so now you guys know the tale of how I became a juice head. Now, I'm sure there's going to be people that, hey, Dan, would you suggest oral steroids or the injectables? It's like, I don't really know. I don't know the long-term effects. I know more or less the long-term effects of injectables, but I don't know the long-term effects, really, of pro hormones. And I'm not sure what type of studies there are about it. I mean, a couple of years ago I could have told you everything you need to know, but now I'm just so out of the loop, I don't have any information on it. I would say probably just wait, dude. If you're 18, 19, 16, 12, 4, I would just wait, right, till you get older and you're wiser and can afford the ramifications if something bad happens, because yes, your testicles are gonna shrink. Oh wait, I gotta do the YouTube thing. Yo, if this video can get 1 million likes, I'll shoot myself in the face with a bazooka. 1 million likes, dog. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Hey, say hey, hit the little red button. It's easy, you click it, just click it already, god dang it. You know what they say, the next thing to a big clit is a small dick. Your favorite lesbian, over and out.